Aston Martin didn't hire Adrian Newey just to improve their car, they hired him because the next era of Formula One could completely reset the competitive order. When the 2026 regulations arrive, every team will start from a clean sheet of paper, and that kind of reset has historically favoured one man more than anyone else in the sport. Adrian Newey has built championship-winning cars across multiple eras of Formula One, adapting to rule changes that reshaped the sport. And now, Aston Martin is betting that Newey can do it again. But the real question isn't simply whether Newey can design a fast car, it's what exactly he will change at Aston Martin, and why this partnership could turn the team into a genuine championship contender faster than most people expect. Aston Martin's recent performance shows exactly why this project matters so much. When the ground effect regulations were introduced, Aston Martin initially appeared to make a major step forward. The team started the 2023 season as one of the strongest challengers behind Red Bull, with Fernando Alonso scoring multiple podium finishes and consistently fighting near the front. But as the season progressed, Aston Martin struggled to maintain development momentum. Rivals improved faster, and the team gradually slipped back toward the midfield. The following seasons showed similar patterns. The car often showed flashes of speed, but consistency remained difficult. Development upgrades sometimes delivered improvements in one area while creating new weaknesses in another. These fluctuations revealed a deeper issue. Aston Martin lacked a clear long-term aerodynamic philosophy capable of delivering consistent performance gains. That kind of problem is exactly where Adrian Newey has historically made the biggest difference. Newey's reputation is not simply based on designing fast cars, but on creating coherent aerodynamic concepts that continue to improve over time. Throughout his career, Newey-designed cars have often demonstrated strong baseline performance combined with development potential. Rather than chasing short-term improvements, Newey tends to focus on fundamental concepts that allow teams to unlock performance gradually. This approach was visible during his time at Williams, McLaren, and Red Bull, where Newey designs repeatedly became dominant platforms that teams could refine season after season. One of the reasons Newey has been so successful is his deep understanding of aerodynamic efficiency. In modern Formula One, raw downforce alone is not enough. Teams must balance downforce with drag, cooling requirements, and mechanical packaging. Newey has consistently demonstrated an ability to design cars that produce strong aerodynamic performance while maintaining efficiency across different types of circuits. Efficient aerodynamics allow cars to maintain competitive speeds on both straights and corners, reducing the compromises that often limit performance. But Newey's biggest impact at Aston Martin may not come from immediate improvements to the current car. The real transformation could come from the 2026 project that the team has already begun developing. The 2026 regulations represent one of the biggest technical resets in modern Formula One history. New power units, redesigned chassis concepts, and active aerodynamic systems will fundamentally change how Formula One cars behave. Teams that interpret these rules correctly from the beginning could gain enormous advantages, while teams that make early mistakes may struggle to recover. The new aerodynamic regulations will reduce overall downforce while increasing reliance on efficiency. Active aerodynamic systems will allow drivers to switch between high downforce and low drag configurations during a lap, changing how cars behave in different sections of the track. Designing a car that remains stable and predictable under these changing conditions will require advanced aerodynamic understanding. This is precisely the type of challenge where Newey has historically excelled. Another major change in 2026 will come from the new power units. The next generation of engines will rely much more heavily on electrical power, with approximately half of total output coming from hybrid systems. Energy deployment will become a central part of performance, and car design will need to integrate aerodynamic efficiency with energy management strategies. Efficient cars will be able to maintain speed with less energy consumption, creating advantages over race distances. Newey's experience designing efficient cars could become particularly valuable under these conditions. Throughout his career, Newey has often emphasized minimizing drag while maintaining sufficient downforce. This balance becomes even more important when power unit limitations restrict maximum performance. Teams that reduce aerodynamic drag will require less energy to maintain competitive speeds, allowing more flexibility in energy deployment strategies. One of the most important advantages Aston Martin offers Newey is something he never fully had at previous teams: completely new facilities designed around modern Formula One technology. Aston Martin's new factory and wind tunnel represent some of the most advanced infrastructure in the sport. These facilities allow engineers to simulate and test aerodynamic concepts with greater precision than older equipment. Combining Newey's design philosophy with state-of-the-art development tools could accelerate progress significantly. The new wind tunnel is particularly important because aerodynamic development depends heavily on accurate testing. Small measurement errors can lead teams in the wrong direction, wasting development resources. Improved testing accuracy allows engineers to refine designs more effectively. If Aston Martin's new facilities deliver the expected improvements in testing precision, Newey's designs could benefit from faster and more reliable development cycles. Another critical part of Aston Martin's long-term plan is the partnership with Honda beginning in 2026. Honda has previously demonstrated the ability to produce competitive power units, most notably during the championship-winning seasons with Red Bull. The Honda partnership provides Aston Martin with a dedicated engine supplier aligned with the team's long-term goals. Integrated design between chassis and power unit can produce significant advantages, particularly during major regulation changes. Working with Honda may allow Aston Martin to optimize packaging and cooling layouts around the new engine design. Efficient packaging improves aerodynamic performance by reducing drag and improving airflow management. Newey has often emphasized the importance of packaging efficiency in achieving overall performance gains. Close cooperation between chassis and engine engineers could allow Aston Martin to exploit these advantages more effectively. Fernando Alonso's presence within the team adds another important element to the project. Alonso is one of the most experienced drivers in Formula One history, with decades of technical feedback experience across multiple teams and regulation eras. Experienced drivers play a critical role during development phases because they help engineers understand how design changes affect real-world performance. Alonso's feedback could help Newey refine designs more effectively, ensuring that theoretical gains translate into real track performance. Alonso's driving style may also align well with Newey-designed cars. Throughout his career, Alonso has demonstrated strong adaptability and technical understanding, allowing him to extract performance from a wide range of car characteristics. Drivers who adapt quickly to changing conditions often perform better in newly designed cars, particularly during early development phases. This combination of driver experience and engineering expertise could accelerate Aston Martin's progress. However, building a championship-winning team requires more than one brilliant engineer. Even Adrian Newey cannot solve every problem alone. Successful teams require strong coordination between aerodynamicists, mechanical engineers, strategists, and operations staff. Aston Martin's growth into a championship contender will depend on how effectively the organization integrates Newey's ideas into a broader development structure. Time is another important factor. Designing a competitive car for a new regulation era requires long-term planning and development. Even with Newey's experience, immediate success cannot be guaranteed. Teams that have worked together for longer periods may maintain advantages in operational efficiency and development coordination. Aston Martin's challenge will be converting long-term potential into consistent performance. Despite these challenges, the timing of Newey's arrival could prove critical. Regulation resets create rare opportunities for teams to close performance gaps. During previous major rule changes, teams that interpreted regulations correctly often gained large advantages that lasted for multiple seasons. If Aston Martin produces a strong initial design for 2026, the team could establish a competitive position that allows continued development in later seasons. Newey's career demonstrates a consistent ability to adapt to regulation changes. From active suspension in the early 1990s to ground effect aerodynamics in the modern era, Newey designed cars have often set performance standards. His ability to translate theoretical aerodynamic concepts into practical race-winning designs has made him one of the most influential engineers in Formula One history. The real transformation at Aston Martin may not happen overnight. Early results may show gradual improvements rather than immediate dominance. But the combination of Newey's design philosophy, modern facilities, Honda power units, and experienced drivers creates a foundation that could support long-term success. The most important question is not whether Adrian Newey can design a competitive car. History strongly suggests he can. The real question is whether Aston Martin can build the complete structure needed to support a championship-winning program. Because if Newey's designs work as intended and Aston Martin provides the environment needed for success, the next era of Formula One could look very different from the current one. And when the 2026 regulations arrive, Aston Martin may finally have the opportunity to become something the team has never truly been before: a genuine Formula One championship contender.